And we're live. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning from wherever you are watching today. And if you're a regular SEM Rush Live viewer, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'd like to introduce Talia Wolf, who will be, put my teeth in, doing the presentation today. Do you want to say hi, Talia?
Hi, excited to be here.
Excellent. And so today, we're all marketing in a number of different ways, and that can fall flat on its face if you're not looking at your destination. So are you fixing your funnels? Where are those leaks? And the biggest mistakes you're making with your funnel and how to fix them. And this is what we'll be discussing and learning from you today, Talia. Talia, do you just want to give us a little introduction of who you are and a little bit more about what we're going to be presented with today?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Talia Wolf, and I'm a conversion optimization specialist. So I've been helping businesses optimize their funnels, their websites, their emails for, I'm going to say a decade, though it really makes me feel old. So for a long time now, doing a ton of A/B tests and running kind of strategic different tests to figure out what is the best way to optimize the customer journey for our clients. And it's super cool because I get to work on various different things. And what we're actually going to talk about today is funnel optimization. And I'm going to talk to you about the biggest mistakes that people make with their funnels, the biggest mistakes that I have seen thousands of funnels make, and then I'm going to show you how you can fix them and avoid them, and I'm also going to talk to you about the 4-part funnel that I use in my own business and for my clients. So hopefully you're going to walk away with a ton today.
Fantastic. I'm excited, and I'm sure the audience is. And to the audience that are watching now, just jump in the chat, give us some questions as we go through. The premise of today's presentation is really going to be Talia talking through quite a lot of information for us. So where I can, I'll jump in with certain questions. Really, we'll try and store up those questions for the end, but do jump in the chat. Leave us those questions. Also, just let us know where you're commenting from. I can already see, again, it's fantastic to see people from all around the world tuning in, which is awesome. And before we jump in, I just want to give a little plug to the 5 hours of SEO that happened last week. And I'll pop it in the chat in a second, or someone else will, kindly. So go back, check that out, and also check out the new SEM Rush Live channel. Click the notifications button, subscribe, so you get all the great new information coming up and webinars such as this. So let's just see how many people we got rocking up. We've probably got a couple more minutes.
Got people from Spain, from Baltimore, from Mongolia. That's amazing.
Yeah, Gran Canaria. Let's see, we've got Surf Gran Canaria. Hi there. Jealous. I like surfing, so.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so Lean, I hope I'm saying his name correctly. Am I seeing a skydiver or a surfer? Like, I'm trying to figure out if you're a fellow skydiver, if you're a surfer. Because like, there's a picture in there. I'm like, what is going on in there? I really want to figure out.
I enjoy either, so yeah.
Oh, cool. Are you a skydiver?
Yeah. Well, no, I did my first skydive last year, and my partner bought it for me. I was hoping, I think that, a kiteboarder, nice. You like that as well. Yeah, she was hoping that would be it, and I'd be done with the adrenaline rush. And I started chatting with someone on how to get trained to do it yourself. So that's something I want to get into. Yeah, awesome.
Right. So
it's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to admit that I have 800. No, I think I have over 900 jumps now.
Oh, no way. So you're like a professional.
Yeah. I used to do camera as a skydiver and kind of compete everywhere, and I loved it. It was phenomenal. I haven't been doing as much because I have kids but for the past 2 years. But yeah, beforehand I was all over the world jumping. It was amazing. So anytime I see someone which looks like a hint of a like canopy, I'm like, is that a skydiver? Oh,
it's amazing,
but
isn't it?
Kiteboarding is awesome too.
Yeah. Right, so we're 5 minutes in. We've got quite a few people ready to go. When you're ready, let's go.
Awesome, cool. And I want his plants too. Just so you know. They're really awesome. Okay, so let's get started. Let me see. We have share screen, and I'm going to share this screen and I'm gonna do that. Woohoo! Awesome. All good?
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay, so if you're joining us here today, you may be joining because you have a funnel that isn't working, or you may have spent hours, weeks putting it together, but something isn't working. Maybe it's top of the funnel stuff, maybe it's the bottom. You're not really sure what's broken and what's not, or let's say how you're going to fix it. So that's one part. Maybe that's the reason you showed up. The other reason is because maybe you're just getting started with funnels and you're unsure where to start, what your ad should say, what your landing page should include, how to choose the right words or visuals or testimonials and different elements in your entire funnel, and how to make things work. So maybe it's even, you're trying to think about, like, what should I even include in my email? So if any of those resonates, let me know in the chat. I'd love to know, are you showing up here today to fix an existing funnel, or are you just getting started with funnels and you'd love to learn how to create high converting ones? So where are you with us today? Like, where are you coming in from? Maybe it's both. I'd love to hear that. So let us know in the chat. That would be fantastic. Now, I've been building and optimizing funnels for my clients for many years now. However, when I got started, I made a ton of mistakes. I'm going to mention some of them today, as I mentioned. And I really felt discouraged. I think many times I wasn't really sure how to go about it or how to optimize or what to do. But these days I can put together a funnel for my clients very confidently. The methodology that I developed and follow has helped me increase conversions and leads for many companies. But before this, I didn't really know how to go about funnels or how to optimize them. In fact, I clearly remember the days of sitting in front of my screen trying to figure out what the heck this landing page is missing, or what's going on with it, or why isn't it working. And I know how hard it is. So today my goal is to give you all the tools that you need to review your funnels, to create better ones, funnels that generate more leads for you and lead to more sales. So Tristam, maybe let me know in the chat right now, what are people showing up for? Where are we today? Are there more people showing up to, because I can't see the chat. Are there more people showing up to kind of work on a new funnel, or are there more people showing up to optimize the current one?
At the moment, we've got people who are just getting started with their funnels. So we'll be looking at that side of things from them. But I'll chip in where the people are coming in with more or less of the other side.
Awesome, fantastic. So let me show you what we're talking about today. So we have the one and only job your funnel has to perform to generate the leads you need for your business. The four most important steps in a high converting funnel, the exact funnel that I use for my own business and my clients, and why people just aren't into your funnel. So AKA the biggest funnel mistakes you make or maybe making, and how to fix them. Okay, so let's dive straight in and talk about that one and only job your funnel has to do. Okay, so the funnel's number one job is to guide your prospect towards an end goal. And here's the thing, bringing in leads is a crucial part of your job, whether if it's leads you want to turn into demo requests, if you need free trial users, maybe enrolling them in your program, or clients who want to hire your services. Whatever it is, they all start out as leads, and to get to those leads, you need a funnel. So a funnel what you need is a funnel that will guide your prospect from that first interaction to the start of your relationship, and actually even further. So each part of your funnel is in charge of moving them closer to making a decision of choosing you over your competitors. So let me show you an example. Imagine seeing an ad on Facebook for a free vegan-based recipe guide. You click through and you land on their landing page and you see an opt-in for a free ebook. So you opt in, you join the email marketing list, and you receive the guide to your email. Now, then later that week, you start seeing ads on Facebook for their subscription service, daily vegan delivery meals for working professionals. So they're offering you every single day, they'll deliver a meal to your office, which is vegan, for people that don't have time to cook, delivered straight to your desk. So you click through, you make a payment, and you subscribe to that meal service. So each step in this funnel that I just talked about is in charge of moving you to the next step. The ad was only in charge of moving you to that landing page, and the landing page is in charge of getting you to sign up, and then you have to move on to the email. So every single step moves you to the next one. It's guiding you through that decision-making process and ensuring that you choose them. Now, as you may have noticed from your own experience, building funnels isn't simple. Sometimes funnels have just 3 steps in them. Sometimes they have 250. However, when they're set up correctly, you can analyze them. You can see where people struggle to take action. You can evaluate your entire messaging and the strategy and make changes accordingly. So funnels are a great way to not only get more leads, but also learn a ton. So when they're set up correctly, funnels help you keep your campaigns organized. They move people through the different stages of choosing your solution, and they drive your target audience strategically toward your desired action. So now that we have an understanding of what a funnel's job is and how it can help drive leads to your business, I'd like to introduce you to a very simple funnel, the one that I use with all my clients. So this is the 4-step funnel that I use to increase my clients' conversions. Now, I use this funnel because over the years, it's almost never failed me. Not because I always immediately got, skyrocket conversions. Of course, I've had to optimize them many times. So it's not like I launched this funnel and great, the best conversions ever. But this specific setup, the way it's set up in this funnel, is the one that I guess has never failed to connect with the audience, move people towards the next stage, and ultimately convert them. So I've tried hundreds of different types of funnels, and I still do try and use different ones. But without a doubt, whenever I need to put a funnel together, this is the one. So the first touch point in the funnel is the ad. The ad is in charge of engaging your prospect for the first time, making a promise, essentially reaching out to them while they're busy doing something, I guess, completely different, because they're, let's say on Facebook, they are watching a cat video or they're reading something about their friend or watching a baby video. So the ad is in charge of grabbing their attention from within their feeds and bringing something to their mind, something that they care about, something that you want them to care about, into their attention. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is the landing page. That's what we do. That's where we lead them from the ad. So that's where we establish our first real connection with the prospect. We show them that we understand them. We appeal to their struggles, their pains. We show them that we can be that solution that they're looking for. Next is actually the most underestimated part of the funnel, and most companies, businesses just don't use this. It's the one that everyone just overlooks, the thank you page. Now, I'm going to dive into it in just a few minutes and show you the power of a good thank you page and how important it is. But let's just say that a thank you page is probably the place to get more conversions, form those connections, build relationships, and ensure that people keep coming back. So the thank you page is a really important part of that funnel. And finally, you have the email. And the email is probably the most important element when it comes to sales. So the more specifically, the first email, and this is what we're going to talk about today, is imperative to make sure that people afterwards keep opening your emails, that they take the actions that you want, that they try a demo, or if they buy something from you. And that email is going to be the basis of your entire relationship. So, no stress. Okay, so here's an example of a funnel at work that we've used time and time again, and that works really well for us. I'm going to give you an example. So over here, you can see an ad, and it's when it's closed and when it's open, you can see that there's lots of text in there. This is the Facebook ad that we used for our conversion optimization guide. It's for psychological triggers. And I get into all the information that they need, and I guide them into a landing page. And from the landing page, they go to a thank you page that says, thank you, you're all set, fantastic. Then I guide them to opening their email, and then they get a thank you email, or the first email where it says that their guide is here, and I give them all the information that they need, and then I set them up to get started. So again, this is probably one of the most high converting funnels that I have in my business right now. From the ad to the welcome email, each part is very carefully considered, and every piece of it works with the next one. And that's how I'm gonna basically break it down for you guys. So funnels take time, and sometimes we can spend weeks and months on putting them together, but every little piece matters, and I really want to help you put that one together. Okay, so let's get started and talk about why people just aren't into your funnel. So the biggest mistakes. Now, many times it feels like it's a guessing game. You're not exactly sure what's going to work, why, and how. So once you've poured all of your heart and your time and your sweat and maybe tears into this funnel, it's incredibly frustrating when it doesn't work. Sometimes it's the ad or the emails that you're sending, or even your thank you page. Oftentimes, most times, it's the landing page. Problem is, it's hard to tell what part of the funnel isn't working. And even when you do find out what part of the funnel isn't working, it's hard to know what to fix. So you can find the problem within Google Analytics or Facebook ads in the ads manager, but it's still hard to figure out why this problem is happening and what you need to do in order to fix it. So over the years, I've built and tested and optimized hundreds and thousands of funnels. So I felt that, I guess I have felt that sour taste of defeat, the pain and disappointment that goes into pouring all my heart and soul and getting the results that just don't cut it. The good news is that over the years, I've identified and committed some of these biggest, most crucial mistakes that people make with their funnels, the ones that are costing businesses tons of money, resources, and let's face it, your sanity. So let's break down these biggest mistakes that people make with their funnels and how you can fix them. Okay, problem number one. Your ad isn't connected to your prospect's stage in the customer journey. So this is like top of the funnel stuff, and this is about the ads. People go through several stages within the customer journey before converting. And most times I've seen that the ads in a funnel aren't connected to the right stage. This is a big problem that people keep seeing. When you create an ad that doesn't resonate with your audience stage in the customer journey, you end up doing something which is that you end up doing three things, actually. One of them is promising something that people don't know they need yet. So basically what this means to them is that you're offering something they just don't need. Like, they're not ready for it, you're in their way, and you're blocking their feed. So that's one thing that happens. Problem number two is you're using words, stories, emotions, and creatives that just don't resonate. Because if they don't know that they need a solution, you're definitely not using the right words or the design, and you're not going to resonate with prospects. So they're not going to move them into action. And if your ad isn't connected to your prospect stage in the customer journey, you also may be alienating potential buyers. So basically what you're doing is these people could have become clients or customers of yours, but because you're using the wrong words or the copy or the story or the wrong emotions, or maybe even the wrong targeting, they're not going to come back to you later. So I want to show you an example that kind of drove me crazy the other day. I saw this ad. I had no idea who this company was. I had no idea why I needed animations on my site. I don't need an animation on my site. Now, if this is happening to me, that means it's happening to a ton of other people that they're targeting, like me, that don't know them, aren't even aware that they have a problem with their videos or the animations, assuming they have videos and animations on their site. But Talia over here is coming out with pricing, deals, offers that, all this isn't even relevant to me at this stage. This ad isn't going to work on me because first I need to understand why my current solution isn't working. In my case, it's why do I even need an animation? For other people, it's going to be your animations aren't working. You can't pitch me the pricing before I even know what's wrong. And this is why your funnels exist, because you start the journey off in the ad by explaining the pain. You then move them to the next step in the funnel, usually the landing page, and that's where you address the solutions, and you can include the pricing, but not always, by the way. So to make this ad work, what they need to do is actually first tell me why not having a video on my site is a problem or killing my conversions. Now, this isn't to say that you can't sell on ads. Of course you can sell on ads. It's just that you need to think about the people that you're targeting and think about the different stage they're in within your customer journey. So you have to adapt your messaging in the ad to the customer journey. So for example, Michael Hyatt over here does this in his ad for his planner. He does actually sell. But first, he explains his struggles and why he designed this planner, and he explains the value and the benefits, and then he invites you to purchase the planner. So it's about meeting people in their timelines, I guess, with the message that will make sense to them and resonate to them to fix what they need, and then move them on to the sale. So you can sell, but you just have to know if your buyers are in the right stage or not. So to fix this specific problem, if you have it, there's a few things that you can make sure of. Okay, so how to fix your ads. Number one, identify what stage of the customer journey people are at. To do that, you can actually look into the keywords that people are using. You can look at the traffic source that people are using. You can use in the keywords that people are searching on your website itself. And number two, you can then create ads that speak to that stage. So here are two questions that you can ask yourself before you start creating an ad. Okay, so is the promise that you're making relevant to the people that you're targeting? This is a question you want to ask yourself before you publish on an ad. So according to people's stage in your customer journey, is your ad relevant to them? Are you offering 50% off to people who aren't even ready to buy? Do the visuals, copy, and stories you're using in your ads resonate with that specific stage? So if you want to sell to people at the beginning of the customer journey, for example, make sure you're first reaching out, reflecting that pain, setting the scene for a need to buy. You need to actually buy this solution before you start pitching them. So your ads have an important a job to do. They need to stand out in people's timelines. They need to grab people's attention and drive them to action. All this in one ad, right? So you have to make sure that you're not making that mistake. And that is a very big mistake that companies are making right now. Okay, so we've tackled ads. Let's move into the most important part of your funnel, and that is the landing page. So problem number two, your landing page isn't inspiring action. So hands down, the landing page is the most important part of your funnel. It's where people truly connect with you for the first time and make a decision. Often they actually do it within less than 3 seconds. They will actually decide if they're going to give your solution a chance or not. So within 3 seconds, it will say this makes sense or this doesn't, and then they'll bounce or not. So the landing page is where you get your prospects to take the first action. It's where you form your relationship and make a promise. Time and time again, I've seen that when you get your landing page right, the rest of the funnel actually falls into place too. So here are two top reasons why your landing page may not be inspiring actions. So number one, maybe your landing page isn't solving a problem. This is a mistake that I've seen, random number, I'm going to say about 90% of businesses make. Okay, don't just create a landing page, create a landing page that solves problems. You don't need a general landing page that captures lots of irrelevant people. You need a landing page that solves your specific audience problem. So the specific prospects that you have, that's a problem you want to solve. To solve your prospect's problem, you need to understand the ins and the outs of your audience intent, the challenges that they're facing, their desired outcomes. And without this, you're just throwing random words on a page, sounding like everyone else, and you will actually get drowned in the sea of sameness because everyone looks the same right now. So simply put, if you don't know your prospects' problems, if you don't understand their pain, their challenges, you'll almost never be able to persuade them to take that action. Here, I'm going to give you an example. So here's example number one. We help companies design and launch world-class digital products and services. Okay, so this is a design company that clearly says, here's what we do. We design, launch world-class digital products. Here's option number two, a different company, a different design company. Hassle-free design for enterprise teams, dedicated teams of top designers, fast turnarounds, reliable and affordable. The difference is really clear. The first page is just about the service they provide. It's very general, but the second one solves a very specific problem that enterprise teams have, right? Fast turnarounds, reliability, and affordability. As an enterprise, it's sometimes so difficult to depend on your in-house team to get things done. The resources are tricky. Everyone's backlogged in a ton of stuff. So this company makes it exactly clear, very clear to you what they do. Done deal. Here's another example. The target audience here, this is a client, past client of us, and whose target audience here was HR companies. And they needed a few different problems solved for them. They wanted to basically get more leads. And they also, because this is a very, very heavy company that costs tens of thousands of dollars a month, they needed to get something very clear across the board to people and really sell that specific need. So they needed to understand why people take the actions that they take, why people make these decisions. So we did our research. We figured out that most people who are coming to this page, HR personnel, wanted to feel like they had a far bigger impact on the company that they were working in. They wanted to feel noticed. They wanted people to notice what they were doing. So this is variation one, where it said, okay, we're the number one solution for commission calculation. We eliminate the need for spreadsheets. Great. So they say, here's what we do. We created this variation. It said, lead your team to success. Okay, so we help you lead your team to success, helping you reward your team easily, track the results, and make an impact on the company. So we solved a specific problem that people were actually looking for, and this got a 97% increase in leads for the clients. Now, here's the thing though, to solve your prospect's problem on a landing page, you don't have to do a complete redesign. You don't have to have all the best trends. Sometimes it's just about using the right words. So a while ago, we worked with Social Media Examiner to help them sell more tickets for their event that happens every March. It actually just happened now, biggest conference for social media marketing in the world. And it was pretty cool. When you look at their landing page, funnily enough, it has a ton of information on it. It's probably one of the most longest pages I've ever seen. It's nothing, it's not beautifully designed. It's not the general landing page that you see all the time, and it has a lot of content on it. So it goes on and on about all the information that you need. And this is the landing page. So from here, you would purchase a ticket for the conference. When we did our research, we realized that the people that were coming to this conference felt really confused. Their target audience was overwhelmed with the amount of things that were happening in social media, and they didn't know what to do. They needed some more hand-holding and some more help. So to optimize this, we just added an additional more text. So this was 3,000 words. We now added an additional section on the page with even more copy, spelling out the exact problems that they're feeling, the exact tension, the pain, the challenges that they're going through, and then painting the picture that could be all these desired outcomes that we knew from our research that people wanted to see. And by adding an extra amount of copy on the page, we got a 41% increase in signups and 16% increase in sales. So all this to say is that people are using the internet to solve their problems. So whether if it's to find answers to questions, inspiration, maybe they want a quick recipe, maybe they want a service provider, every single person that comes to your website is searching for a solution for your problem. And it's on you to show them that you, and prove to them that you can solve it. So does your landing page solve the problem, or is it just doing this next mistake, which is talking about yourself, right? So option number 2 of why it's not, your landing page isn't inspiring action, is that maybe it's just about you. So most times when I ask my students and clients why people buy from them, they give me a long list of, you know, features and the best pricing and that they have the best technology and the best solution. So on and so on. It always goes on about the company, their features and their pricing. And that's why we see so many landing pages like this. They talk about digital product innovation. We do this and this and this, and this is how pricing, and this is who we work with, and this is how amazing we are. We see landing pages like this, you know, the smartest way to check your properties. Mainly basically all about the company itself and not about the customer. But the thing is that people don't buy products. We don't buy features. We don't buy pricing. What we buy is actually better versions of ourselves. This is probably my favorite visual of all times by User Onboard. You know, at the end of the day, we're not selling the product, we're selling this awesome person who can do rad shit. That's what people are buying. And most pages focus on themselves. They focus on their own stuff and they forget the customers. They make it about themselves. So that's why they may not be inspiring action. So here's an example. Who would you rather buy from, right? Who would you call if you now wanted to get a dog walking service? This landing page, the #1 dog walking service in Washington, contact us to book your dog's walk today. Or, which is fine, right? It tells you exactly what it does. Fantastic, they're #1, trust us. Or, stop worrying at work, we've got your pup. We make sure your loved one gets daily exercises and a whole lot of love until you get home. What message is more likely to convert? Who would you call? Let me know right now in the chat. I'd love to know, by the way, because I'm always interested in hearing this. But yes, on one hand, saying that you're the best could work because it's, you know, a great thing to say. But when you involve the emotion, when you make it about the customer, when you make it about their fears, their worries, I mean, at the end of the day, you're sitting in the office all day worrying about if your dog is getting all the exercise that they need and the love that they need. And when someone says this to you, it's far more likely to convert. So it'd be interesting to know what you think. Now, in order to create a landing page that converts, you've got to make it about the customer, her pains, and her desired outcomes. So another cool example of a landing page that we worked on, you'll notice here that everything on the page is about them. Easy to use infographic creator, all their features and benefits, and even the visual on the page is a how to use drag and drop. So everything about the product. But when we did our research and we changed it and we moved from being product-centered to customer-centered, we created this. Make impressive infographics. So it's about their end result. It was about addressing their specific issues. Create beautiful infographics in less than 10 minutes, showing them the outcome. All of this was able to actually drive 24% increase in registrations and 76% increase in creation of presentations and infographics. So, okay, let's talk about how you can avoid making these mistakes. And here are quite a few ways you can do that. So #1, before creating a landing page, you need to know which problems your prospect is trying to solve. So do your research. Go where your prospect is and look for those questions that they're asking, the problems that they're mentioning. You can do this in Facebook groups and forums, on Quora, and articles, and even on your competitors' websites, looking at the reviews that they're getting. Simply put, when you solve real problems, people are more likely to connect with you and convert. #2, make it about the customer. highlight her value, her outcomes, and take the conversation away from you. So write copy and design a landing page that's focused on solving those problems. You can do this by creating valuable guides, checklists, webinars, or even giving a free consultation. Get them started on solving their problem so you can later swoop in and solve it for them in a completely different way in your email sequence. Provide clarity. What one action does your prospect need to take to receive the value that they're looking for? So tell people what to do. What one action do they need to take to receive the value that they're looking for? Make sure that your landing page has just one goal and that it is clear why they should take this action. Okay, so we focused a ton on the landing page. Now I want to talk to you about the thank you page. I mentioned before that it's probably one of the most important parts of the funnel, and I was not kidding. It's probably the most overlooked one. And at the end of the day, if you're not using this thank you page, you're losing out quite a bit. So again, problem number 3, you're not leveraging thank you pages. So most often when you convert, when you get a lead or you, get a conversion, the first thing you'll do is send people to like either a pop-up that says, thank you, thanks for subscribing. Maybe it will just say like, check out your email, and go see what we've sent you. But here's the thing, if you're doing one of these, you're actually missing out on a huge opportunity because the thank you page is a crucial part of the funnel. It actually has 2 goals. Number 1 is to make your prospect feel confident in the action that she just took. So there's a little psychological trigger called choice supportive bias. And the idea is that we want to feel good about the actions that we've taken. So it's your job in the thank you page to remind people that they did a great job. It sounds funny, but it's actually super imperative that you do that. And goal number 2 is to ask her to take another action. It's actually called foot in a door technique. And it's another psychological trigger that's based on the fact that when we've taken one action, we're far more likely to take another. So that's why you'll see a lot of brands use 2-step sign up process. So first you fill in your name and only then you put in your email. It's all about getting people to take one action so that then later they can do more. So you can actually ask people to take so many actions on the thank you page and get them to be even more ingrained within your company and wanting your relationship. So you could ask them to answer a survey question and learn more about your customers. You could get them to share the action they just took. You could ask them to leave a review. You could add more details about themselves, to ask them to just tell you more about themselves, get them more invested in that funnel. And you can even tell them to read more about you and send them to your blog. So remember this client over here, we added a thank you page to it. And essentially what we did is we introduced one of the employees there and we said, hey, one of my team members is going to call you. In the meanwhile, tell me more about yourself. And by adding this and getting people to fill this in, we got a ton more leads that when we knew that they were highly invested and interested in this solution. And 2, we actually got a lot more people to convert later down the line. So we got 30% more leads, sales due to this specific thank you page. Okay, so how can you fix your thank you page? So number 1, create an actual thank you page and avoid using these pop-ups, but actually take the time to create one, and ask them to take one action on your page, something simple, not 2, not 3, one simple thing that they can do. And reward them for taking that action by offering a valuable asset. So you can offer to download a free guide, get a checklist, a tutorial, something that will provide them with value and further connect them to your brand and that relationship. And you can also, and most importantly, tell them what to expect from on the actual thank you page. So give them clarity. What's going to happen next? Okay, so the last problem that you may be experiencing is that your email isn't delivering on your promise. So this is a big issue when it comes to emails. People love to say that email is dead, it's not working, but I'll just show you a quick number that emails is the most effective channels until today, still today, when it comes to leads and sales. So over 82% of businesses say that email marketing is the most effective channel for them for turning prospects into customer. So that's why email marketing is actually my favorite channel. And I have to say that probably every dollar that I make today is from email marketing. So I never create a funnel without an email sequence. But I have to remember that there's a big issue with email, and that is this, right? You wake up in the morning, there's 1,500 emails in your inbox, you have no idea what to do, and you just start deleting. And to be honest, I delete a ton of emails without even opening them. So how do you stand out in that inbox and make people actually open your emails? Well, the idea is that you want to have a huge impact. You want to really stand out. So one of the things that I do is I send very personal emails. Like one of my last emails was questions my toddler asks me, real questions. So the idea here is that I try to connect with people on an emotional level, but most people that send emails don't really do that. So here are a few of the different problems that you may be experiencing with your emails. If you're already sending emails, but you're not getting the results that you want, these might be the reasons, okay? So number one, as we said, your email isn't delivering what it promised. So again, when someone decides to sign up to your email list or start a free trial or download a guide from you, it's as if they're making some initial statement to themselves and they're saying, I believe that this company, this person can solve this problem for me. They're going to help me achieve something. And I'm no longer going to let this challenge annoy me anymore. This is the person or this is the company that's going to help me. So this is why it's so important to kind of continue that conversation that you started on the site. You need to add meaning to the action and you need to strengthen their decision in that email. So, but most businesses don't really understand that. And what they do is they immediately send like an email with or a trail of emails with promotions and just self high fives and raving about their solution. So here's an example. I signed up for this service a while ago and it said, you know, I can manage my tasks through WhatsApp, which is great because I'm in WhatsApp all the time. So fantastic. But then I go to my email and what I see is basically nothing. So I went to my email to find out how I can actually use this product. And what I got was basically a video showing me why they're cool. It's actually a video that says general welcome email with like a video that tells me about their app, their features, their pricing, how cool they are, why you should buy from them. I didn't actually get what I wanted. I signed up for this and I was expecting to be told like, hey, step one, download the app. Step two, do this, do that. Nothing. What I got was just like self high fives and how cool they are, which is great, but not really delivering on the promise that I was looking for. Number two, which may be an issue with your emails, is that you're not giving people a reason to open your email, to keep opening those emails from you. So remember this, I have 98 unread emails in here. You need to stand out in your inbox. You need to connect with people and you need to provide value. If you're not doing that, people will just stop opening your emails, stop communicating with you. So let's ask yourself this. Ask yourself, what was the motivation behind the action? Why did people sign up? How can I reflect that back and add more meaning to that action? What are the next steps she could take to achieve this outcome? If you ask yourself these questions and you answer these three questions, it's actually far easier to craft high converting emails. These are the questions that my good friend and probably one of the best conversion email writers that I know, Reich Schwartz, asks himself every single time he writes an email. So at the end of the day, it all starts and ends with a problem that you are trying to fix and solve for people. So here's what you need to do to fix your first email, that first email that people get in their inbox from you after you've asked these questions and answered them. Deliver on your promise, obviously. So whatever you promised that you were going to do on the landing page, send that, give it to them. Number two, reiterate the problem that they're trying to solve and why it needs solving. So give it back to them and say, we know that you signed up to solve X, Y, and Z. You're feeling this kind of pain, and here's how you're going to solve it. Explain why you're the right person or the right company for this job. Tell them what to do next. So those are the four things you want to do when it comes to writing a high converting email. So what I want to say here, I guess, is that when you're thinking about writing your emails, think about the whole idea of what your promise is, why people are doing this, how can this person solve the problem for themselves, because at the end of the day, they're not looking for you, they're looking for a solution to make them better at who they are, and tell them what to do next. So quick example, hey there, Talia, best practices suck. There, I've said it. All those 1 tips to increase conversion by 3,000% articles don't work. I know this because when I started out as an optimizer, I followed best practices too. So in this part of the email, this is actually my welcome email. So anyone who signs up to my email list gets this email as one of the first emails that they get. And I talk to them about everything about what I've tried, things that they've tried, and why they've failed. And then I say, I want you to do yourself a huge favor and commit to yourself that you're going to stop following BS, best practices, or zero experts that promise stuff we all know isn't going to work. You join this list, hopefully to learn how to increase conversions and grow your business the real way. And I'm here to help you do exactly that. And then I deliver on my promise. I give them that complete list of psychological triggers that I promised them, and I invite them to join a Facebook group. So all this comes together as one whole funnel, right? We have the ad, we have the landing page, we have the thank you page, and we have the email sequence. All of this works together. And I think the most important thing to say here is that when you make it about the customer, when you put them at the focus, you will always be able to create more high converting funnels, whether if it's about the ad, if it's the landing page, if it's the thank you page that needs to make it more about them, or even in your email, that first email that you send out, everything there needs to connect with the customer on a more personal level, and grab their attention, make it about them. Okay, so that's all we have for today. Thanks for joining, and you can grab all of my resources and free templates from here. We have that psychological triggers guide that I mentioned and many other things in there to help you. I am now going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to come back.
Hey, fantastic.
And hopefully answer your question.
Yeah, well, we've got some questions that come in, and that was a fantastic presentation. Thank you very much. So just to sort of recap, I think what we're looking at, and what I still find time and time again, is that we're looking to problem solve within the context of, you know, conversion rate optimization, funnels, etc., and keep the user / customer in mind first. Whereas I still see a lot of people going, we have product X or product X, and we want to market the hell out of it. How are we going to market it? And, you know, it's like, well, why would someone want this? What are the benefits, etc., to them? So it's sort of almost flipping the script on like how you think about how you're going to market, if you agree on that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that what we're seeing all the time is just that, we're seeing that everyone's the same, right? Most companies just focus on themselves, their own features, their pricing. But especially in the world that we live in today, where people are seeing over 40,000 ads a day, right? A day. Pings, pongs, dings, dongs. We're seeing Facebook ads. We're seeing people messaging us. We're getting WhatsApp, you know, whatever it is. We're seeing so much going on that it's very hard for us to actually stop and pay attention to something. So if you want to drown out that crowd, and if you want to stand out in people's timelines and in their feeds and in their inbox, you actually have to start making it about them, and you have to pull away from that, you know, copying my competitor and talking about myself, because what people care about is what's in it for them, right? Yeah. Their value. So it doesn't mean that you can't talk about your product. Of course, you have to talk about your product and your solution, but you start by grabbing their attention. You start by making it about them and showing them, relating to them, and showing them that you know them and you understand them.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, we've got a few questions, and for everyone out there watching, if I pronounce your name incorrectly, I am very sorry. So Maroki has asked maybe a question on landing pages. Is that, should landing pages be super short these days, other than the one client that you gave the example of? Should they be generally short with a call to action to sign up? What are your thoughts on that?
No, the reason I'm gonna say no first. Here's why. I know that the best practice, so everyone loves to say, don't write long copy, make the pages as short as possible because no one reads today. People aren't illiterate, right? People know how to read. The reason that people don't read is because we're not giving them a reason. So in the hundreds of tests, thousands of tests that I've run, it's not about how long the page is, it's about the content in it and what it's about. So when you make it about your own product and your features, so you're not really giving people to read, reason to read on. But if you start in the right way and you picture their pain and you relate to them and you show them that you know them and that you show them that you know what they've tried and why it hasn't worked, and you portray all that on a page, people are far more likely to actually connect with you and not just take that one-time conversion. So short pages do work. It's not that they don't work, but many times if you haven't really made the case for the entire solution, you might get a lot of downloads or many signups, but after that, they'll be gone. These people aren't really committed to you. They don't really know you. They don't really care. They just wanted to grab that thing and go away. So I definitely recommend testing long form with landing pages, with emails, and even with ads. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, this nicely leads on to the next question from Nancy Kwan. Nice numbers. What tools do you use to track conversions? And I don't know whether I can open that up slightly wider with conversions and sort of, yeah, what other tools could you offer out for people to sort of be able to go and look at?
Sure, great question. So when it comes to working with my clients, I actually choose to work with whatever tool they're already using. I do have my preferable tools that I love to use. So we'll use obviously Google Analytics in order to analyze user behavior. We're using a lot of Google Optimize right now to run A/B tests, but I've also used Optimizely and VWO. They're all great tools for running A/B tests. The key to choosing a right A/B testing platform for yourself, it depends on what you're trying to get done and the resources that you have in-house. If you have developers and designers, then sometimes you need something that's less, or the opposite. If you don't have enough resources, you're going to need something that's more complex. You're going to need something that has an easy kind of design, drag and drop kind of thing. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Other tools that I love using are Hotjar, my favorite heat mapping tool, because it helps you
I love it.
run, I guess, surveys and polls and great heat maps and screen recording. So that's one of my favorite. Google Tag Manager is also a fantastic tool that everyone should be using. I guess those are my go-tos.
Yeah, there's quite a few there. But yeah, I love Hotjar myself and Tag Manager and Google Analytics. And for anyone watching this now, although it's an SEM Rush webinar, if you use Hotjar, I think you can get 14 days free business account, and then I think you can get a scaled down account for free, but you can only track up to 3 pages. But it's a good way to start depending on where you're at with this whole process.
Sure.
So we've got a quick question from SF Digital Studios. What would you say is a good email open rate to shoot for? I guess that's quite an open question depending on industry. Or have you got an interesting place where people can go and find sort of, general email open rates? Because I'm sure there's many studies out there.
Right. Well, there's so much, depending on this. As you mentioned, the industry is a big thing. The size of your list is also a very big thing. Like if you have 500 people versus 20,000 people, you're going to have different kind of open rates. I think I'm sure there's lots of lists out there that will give you the exact general open rates that you have for different people, for different industries and companies and businesses. But the things that do actually affect open rates, I would say, are your subject line, obviously, but also the name that you're sending it from. And the idea of unsubscribing people. So I'm going to say something that's very unpopular and that probably businesses don't like to hear. Don't hide your unsubscribe link in your email. A lot of companies like to hide it. They don't want people unsubscribing. It's a terrible thing. I encourage it Not only that, I actually run a campaign on our email list once every 6 months to remove, automatically unsubscribe people who haven't been engaging, haven't opened or clicked on any of our emails in the past 6 months. Because the more people you have on your list who aren't engaging, your results are coming down. So you may have 20, 30, 40% open rates, but if you had less people on your list who are more engaged and active, you could have it even higher. So I strongly recommend allowing people to unsubscribe and actually get off your list when they're not relevant to your business. I do have a very long guide on email marketing, actually a free course, 5-day free course that you can take on email marketing, how to write, design, plan, and test emails. So in there, we have a lot of information about that. I'll grab the link in a minute and paste it in the chat.
Awesome. And then, so just a little bit more on emails. Rent Homes 123 said, should you get a dedicated email host as opposed to using our web host to send emails? If so, what would be your recommendations?
Well, I mean, again, I think it really depends on what you need to get done for your own business. I myself use GetDrip, which is my go-to, but you can use MailChimp or GetResponse. There's many different companies that you can use. I like using GetDrip because of the automation that it provides, segmentation. I can segment my list and I know who I'm sending emails to, and I can get people to segment themselves. I think that probably the more important question here is going to be what type of emails you want to send. Are they heavy design, kind of design-based heavy emails? Are they more text-based? I find with my emails that the more they look like they've been sent from my Gmail account, personal email, the better they work. And the more they connect with people. So you want to go with the software that provides you the tools that you need for your specific prospects. And that depends on your business capabilities, your budget, your resources, and who your audience really is.
Fantastic. And they just keep rolling in the questions. One from Casa, any recommendations on a good funnel builder and email marketing software? Obviously, we've just sort of covered a bit on the email marketing software.
Right. We didn't talk about funnel builders or landing page builders. My two favorite ones are Unbounce and Lead Pages. Those are the two that I use. Just partnered with Unbounce on this huge 3 landing page guide for SaaS businesses. So, I mean, each one of these has their own benefits. So I strongly recommend looking into those two.
Fantastic. And we are getting close to the 6 o'clock mark, so I'm going to smash out these 2 last questions. But Maroki again asked a question. Also noticed Talia's emails very simple in format and not the fancy formatted ones MailChimp or iContact has. I've noticed a trend towards these emails. Is this something that's becoming more popular now?
It's a great question. I mean, I do think it is becoming more popular. I do think it really depends on the type of business that you're running. When you're trying to sound more personal and you want to show people that it is really you as a personal brand, I think you have to be doing it. And even as a small brand, that's the way you should go. I'd urge you to test it, obviously. But the thing with heavy, like design heavy emails is that they normally also include many links and many things in them. The idea of this broken down email that kind of looks like a Gmail, it's not only just the fact that it's no, there's no design in it. It's also the way we break the lines and how I break each line, the way I write it, the spaces between each sentence. My entire email strategy is built around helping readability and also designed to get people to take just one action. So that's the strategy that I use, that I've tested, that works the best for me. When I ran a conversion optimization agency a few years ago, the more design heavy kind of email worked best for us. So it really depends on you as a brand and who you are, but I definitely urge you to test it, because there are also emails that go through better in terms of filters of email and spam and stuff like that.
Well, and I guess things change over time, so you just got to constantly be testing,
For sure.
Because what we like one day we don't like the next day. And I think this might be the last question I can get to. Everyday Athlete asks, how do you invite people back to your list if you think they are offering, or if you are offering something valuable and that's new? And I guess that's based on the, if you unsubscribe them because, they weren't taking any interactions, how would you go about going, actually, we've got something new?
Right. So if this is something that you have unsubscribed from your list. So when I unsubscribe people, I don't just automatically unsubscribe everyone. They go through an email sequence over 3 weeks. They get 5 or 6 emails of me asking them, telling them that, I've noticed that they haven't been around, that they're not connecting, they're not opening the emails. If they want to stay on the list, please click here. Or I also let them know about, here's all the stuff that you've missed in the past 6 months. And if they still haven't opened or engaged any of my emails in the past of those 5 emails, then I notify them that I'm removing them from my list. I find that most of those people are people that left companies or aren't really, and don't really open their emails anymore in that kind of system. I think that I've also had people who on their own decided to unsubscribe and come back for other things. I don't think there's a way to kind of convince people to come back into their inbox, because you're not going to email them if they unsubscribe from you. But you constantly putting out good content, providing value to people is how you keep bringing people back. And more importantly, you want to drive the right kind of people to your list. You want to make sure that, the right people are on your list, the people that not only want your free stuff, but also will be willing to pay when you have something valuable to offer. So it's sometimes painful and scary to, remove people and have that unsubscribe button there. But when you do it, you actually manage to run a list that really is engaged and committed to you. So I definitely think you should try it.
Awesome. Well, we've hit the 1 hour mark, so apologies for anyone that I didn't get to ask your question. Talia, where can people find you online so they can come and hound you with these questions and get their questions answered? And also, if you want to drop what your website is as well, so people can get all that extra information as well, that'd be fantastic.
Sure. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to keep answering them. On Twitter, I can do that. You can find me at Talia GW. So that's where you can find me on Twitter. I want to comment the link, but I can't.
That's okay. I popped it in the link already.
Thank you. Great. So on the blog itself, there's a resources page of all our free resources. There's actually dozens of them in there. So anything that you need for email, for landing pages, feel free to go into that. That's getuplift.co. And we have a ton of things in there for you, guides and everything that you need. Perfect.
And I've popped that in the comments as well. And as a keynote speaker, where can people find you talking next?
Oh, that is a bit of a problem right now with traveling. A ton of stuff has been cancelled, rightfully so, by the way. So I have a bunch of things that I'm doing online. My next one that I'm doing in person right now that hasn't been cancelled is in Germany in September. And I'm doing quite a few online events. Soon we're doing an e-commerce event soon, and I'm doing quite a few webinars and podcasts. And if you want to listen to some of our past stuff or catch any of our workshops, you can also find those on our website too. There's a ton of workshops there.
Fantastic. Well, we'll wrap it up there. Talia, thank you for today. It's been fantastic. And I think there's been a lot of value that a lot of people have taken from reading the comments, etc. Guys, don't forget, if you like this, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Let us know what we've done right and what we've done wrong. Also, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notifications so you get updated when new content's coming out. But for now, that's us done. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Thank you and bye.
Bye. Thank you.